Hello everyone and welcome back. So tonight we'll be continuing our Demon Souls playthrough as I read some stories I found on Reddit. Um, for a content warning, a lot of these stories that we're going to be looking at are very triggering to some people, especially the first one we're going to cover, to judge it by the title of it. So I want you guys to prepare for that. And as always, all of the stories will be linked in the description, along with the videos I use for the video, the music I use, and that includes playlists and my TikTok. Even though I don't use my TikTok that often anymore. But that being said, sit back, relax, and enjoy the video, guys. All right, so this first story here, um, yeah, this story is the reason why I had to put a warning at the beginning of the video. So prepare yourselves because it's going to be a wacky read. So the story is called I Hooked Up with My First Cousin Last Night. Now, before we get into it, this story is quite old. It's 11 years old. So I will talk about it after I'm done reading it, but I don't think there's really any advice I can give this. So, alright, here we go. So yeah, that happened. I thought only backwoods Hicks did this. I guess I proved myself wrong. Before this happened, I really wanted to fuck him. Not since we were little or anything, only in the past few weeks. I don't know what changed. We didn't really grow up together. Yeah, I saw him on most weekends when I was very little, probably 4 years old to about 10. But we weren't the best buddies or anything. I was a cunty little brat, and he is 8 years older than me. So we didn't really even get along very well. A very long time passed without seeing him. I was doing my own thing, moving around. Didn't see him for probably 15 years or so. A few years back, I saw him at a 4th of July party with the rest of my family. I didn't think anything of it. It was with my boyfriend at the time. We're big drinkers in my family, so needless to say, everything was pretty toasted by the end of the night. I was sitting with my cousin, and he put his arms around me, and he hugged me. Again, I didn't think anything of it. I just thought we were all drunk. And since we hadn't seen each other in a long time, I just thought he was being sweet, and he was, but my boyfriend didn't think so. He flipped the fuck out and accused my cousin of wanting to fuck me. I lost my shit on him and told him that there is no way in fucking hell my cousin would ever even consider that. So I kicked my boyfriend out of the party and he walked home. Very long ways away. Laugh out loud. But nothing happened. Just a lot of shock and disgust and embarrassment from my family about my boyfriend even thinking that. A few years and boyfriends later, we end up at the present day. I'm 28 and my cousin's 36. I had some car troubles and since my family on my dad's side are mechanics, my dad and my cousin helped me fix it up. I have been seeing my cousin a bit more frequently with moving back to the area and hanging out with all of my cousins who I never really connected with as a kid. But anyways, after fixing my car, which I'm super thankful for, we sat on his porch and drank our faces off all night. I ended up mentioning that night about my ex-boyfriend being so crazy, suggesting that my cousin wanted to hook up with me. We both kind of shook our heads and laughed it off and agreed that it was so weird and crazy. But in that moment, I kind of knew that it was true. As we were laughing it off, you could kind of see that we were both kidding ourselves. I don't know if it's hormones or what, but there had been a very strong pull towards each other. We both knew it, but wouldn't acknowledge it. It's fucked up. Very fucked up. We're grown-ass adults, not some preteens with hormones and running high and needing to experiment. From what I've been reading, that seems to be a majority of cousin sex stories. Teenagers effing around, being teenagers, but I digress. We went to a bar for our family party 2 weeks ago. To keep a long story short, I drove him home there, was too drunk to drive at the end of the night, and I stayed at his place. Nothing happened. I knew he wanted to do something though. I was organizing leftover food from the party in his fridge, and he just showed up in his boxers smiling at me. He was so fucking hammered. So I just directed him to his couch, and I put a blanket on him. Woke up the next day, and he made breakfast, and got some coffee, and I went home. I am not gonna read that. It's just her talking about, thinking about him. Let's just say that. I'm not gonna read that. That is, I will definitely get this video taken down. So I've been going out of my way to make excuses to see him. Oh, hey, I'm just passing by the area. Want to hang out for a bit? I got a free TV. No, anyone who wants it? Shit like that. Most of the times I would just hang out with him until around 10 p.m. and go home. We laugh, sing songs, and generally just have an overall great time. Cracking jokes and cracking beers until last night. Party at his house. Same old, just drinking and hanging with family. He was kind of getting touchy towards the end of the night, and he tends to do that, just like hugging, saying love you, cuz, being a generally jolly guy. But when everyone went home and I was the last one left, it was different. I could see he so badly wanted to say something. I did too. He wanted to start saying things like, ugh, I just wish trailing off every time. Obviously I knew what he was saying. I said, yeah, me too. He told me that I smelled really good and just hugged me tight and buried his face in my hair. I knew it was happening that night. The draw was too strong, so I hugged him back and we just embraced for a while. It's so fucking strange wanting to be with someone and not being able to. Especially when the feeling is mutual. But he said again he wished. He said again he wished. Oh gosh, he wished things were different, and I just made the first stab at it. I told him, I have a crush on you. And let me tell you, being a grown-ass woman telling someone you have a crush on them feels so special. I usually just say to guys, I want to make love, but you can't really just up and say that to your cousin. Ha ha ha. So that was it. He kissed me, but some of my other family literally lives next door to him, so I pulled away real fast. I told him that you can't do it outside. We need to go inside. Game on, motherfucker. Or her cousin fucker. So weird. So we just started ravaging each other. It was great. I won't go into detail, thank God. But we did everything besides what? Okay. And besides actually making love. And not like we wouldn't have, just kind of drinking, it kind of prevents that. He was super sweet. He was giving me the eyes. So the eyes someone only gives you when they're completely in love with you. Not lustful, but if you've seen it, you know what I mean. He was caressing my face, holding me real close. Just overall being really loving. Some of my past boyfriends weren't even that real with me. Ha ha ha. Of course, there were moments of... Wait, hold on. Of course, there were moments we really shouldn't be doing this. Him saying it, not me. But I just laughed and said, the bridge has already been crossed. So, screw it. We ended up just laying together and him holding me. It was really nice. He told me he loved me. That kind of shocked me. Well, he was always drunkenly saying he loves me, but this time it was, I love you. I didn't know what to say. Just say, I love you too, cuz. Mental head slap shortly ensued. So he went to bed and I snuck out before the morning. I just wanted to post this because I just don't know what to think. It's the next day. I feel good. But at work, my stomach kept dropping like an impending doom. But always excited butterflies. It's fucking weird. I've been through so much in my life. It's been a long time since I even felt anything remotely like this, but I can't act on it. I can't tell anyone. My family would disown us for sure. He has a young teenage son. What would happen to him mentally if he found out that his dad committed incest? I mean, we probably will make love again. We're really close and attracted to each other. I never thought in a million years I would be one of those people kissing cousins. Sounds effing horrifying, but it was really nice. I don't know. I'm just so confused about the whole damn thing. I just wish we weren't cousins. Guess my ex-boyfriend was right the entire time. No regrets. Whew, wee. Oh boy. Okay, that was the end. Clearly there's something very fucked up in this family. That's not normal. I'm sorry, I'm going to be one of those assholes. I mean, there's some people in the comments actually supporting her. And granted, this is an 11-year-old story, so I'm going to just say right off the bat, there's something wrong with you. That's your family. Like, I don't care if you guys didn't know each other that well. That's still your blood. That's disgusting. Trigger Sweet Home Alabama. I don't have a lot to say about that. My good lord. Okay, so our next story deals with mother issues. This is an 18-day-year-old. No, it's 18 days old. And it is called, Is It Wrong That I Don't Want a Relationship with My Mother Anymore? It's really hard for me to write this, but I need an outside perspective because I honestly don't know what to do with these feelings anymore. I have an awful relationship with my mother, to be honest. It feels like we never really had a mother-daughter relationship at all. When I was younger, we were a complete family. Things were more stable because my father was there. He was caring, gentle, and a loving parent. I was very emotionally attached to him. My parents got married late in life. My mom was 47, my dad was 52. And I was born when my mom was 48. I was their only child. When I was 13, my father got cancer. And not long after that, he died. And that period completely destroyed me. I was still a child, grieving someone I was deeply attached to, and I desperately needed comfort and support. But my mother was never that kind of person. She was always harsh, cold, and unable to show affection after my father died. She got even worse. We started fighting more and more. Instead of supporting me while I was falling apart, she became even more mean. There were times when our arguments got so bad that she beat me until I was bleeding. I grew up feeling scared, tense, and emotionally abandoned. As a teenager, things got bad, that I self-harmed and had multiple moments when I wanted to end my life. None of that seemed to matter to her. It felt like the only thing that she wanted from me was good grades and for me to behave in any way that was convenient for her. My pain, my grief, and my mental state didn't seem important at all. When I was 17, I left home and moved in with my boyfriend. Later, I married him. That caused even more conflict because my husband is from a different ethnicity, and my mother is extremely racist and nationalistic. Since then, our relationship has only gotten worse. The truth is, I don't feel love towards her. I don't feel closeness. I don't even feel much sympathy anymore. She's almost 70 now, and I know a lot of people would say that because she's old and she's my mother. I should take care of her. I should be there for her. But I can't make myself want that. I don't want contact with her. I don't want to be close with her. I don't want to force a relationship that has only ever brought me pain. What I do feel is guilt. A lot of it. I feel stuck between she's my mother and I should care about her, and she hurt me deeply for years, and I don't owe access to someone who abused me. I know she's getting older, and that makes the guilt worse, but I still don't feel any desire to reconnect. I don't know how to deal with this. I don't know whether forgiveness is necessary or even possible. I don't know if healing means forgiving her or just accepting that I can't love someone who made my childhood feel unsafe. Has anyone dealt with something similar? How do you get over the guilt of not wanting a relationship with your own mother? Is forgiveness actually necessary, or is the distance sometimes the healthiest choice? Distance is the healthiest choice. It's 100% the healthiest choice. This woman was terrible, to to this girl. It's awful what she had to go through. Like, I mean, abuse is a very, very serious thing. Like, yes, I'm sure the husband or the father passing away was like a major, major, like, that can really take a toll on someone. But she mentions that the mother was always like that. So, and it just got worse. So, in my opinion, like, as messed up as it sounds, I would not want to talk. Like, I would want to stay away from her. It's just, there's no reason to feel guilt. All right, it's just, that's what the only reason why you feel guilt is because it is family. But what is family when they don't even treat you like family? Let's move on to the next story. I do want to mention though, a lot of these stories I picked were just due to the title. So when you guys are first hearing them, this is when I'm first hearing them. So I feel like I should mention that. So the next story is 23 days old, and it's called How to Move On. And I'm assuming it's going to deal with, moving on from someone you broke up with. So here we go. How do you unlove someone who has become part of who you are? The one person you trusted with your most fragile self. Who still hurt you? The person you gave your life to. The man you exchanged vows with. And the father of your daughter. Hi, I'm a 24-year-old married woman with one lovely daughter, and I'm currently learning how to unlove someone. How to currently unlove someone. Someone once told me that I should write about it, not to gain sympathy, but to release all the disappointment, the pain, and the longing. I still care for that person. I've kept this hidden from everyone because they see me as a girl who can handle anything. The one who will always make it through. So here I am, finally pouring it all out. Before I begin sharing the unfortunate things that happened between me and this person, I want you to know how we ended up in this situation. It was 2018. He kept messaging me, trying to get my attention, but I didn't like him. Not because of his personality. I didn't even know him at all, except that he was a soldier and his family lived about 100 meters from our house. Yes, we were neighbors. I didn't like him because he was in the army. Not to brag, but quite a few men in the army had tried to pursue me before, and none of them have succeeded. I had this strong stereotype that I would only toy with your feelings and then leave. I think by the way, I don't think she's saying that she toys with their feelings. I think she thinks that the army people do that. Yeah, okay, yeah, that's it. I have seen many women suffer because of that. I grew up near a military camp, so those stories were common. So when he kept messaging me, it didn't work. If anything, it only annoyed me. In 2019, when the pandemic hit, he wasn't as persistent anymore, but he still messaged me from time to time. I would reply with very short answers. I still wasn't interested, not until I saw him in person. He was neat, tall, and honestly, his body was exactly my type. From that moment, I started responding more through not with any bad intentions. I just thought he was cute. Nothing more besides there wasn't much to do during lockdown, so talking to him became a way to pass the time. Something fun in an otherwise boring situation. That was also the year he started courting me. Am I stupid? I don't think I've ever heard that before. And so in 2020, I finally said yes, and we officially became a couple. That year I got to know him better, and he felt like the man of my dreams. No vices, neat, tall, physically fit, and very family-oriented. In 2021, we made so many memories together. I'm a bit conservative and religious, so we didn't engage in anything inappropriate. I loved how we were generally happy and just being with each other, without needing those things, and how he respected our boundaries and stayed committed to our relationship. In 2022, I became someone I barely recognized. We crossed boundaries, and I once swore I would never cross, and we did those things, intimate things, without protection. I didn't even know exactly when it started, but little by little, I just stopped resisting, and I just let things happen. It wasn't what I wanted for myself, yet in that moment, I found myself going along with it. It felt so unlike me, and then everything changed. I got pregnant. In 2023, we got married before the wedding, and I kept asking him if he was truly sure about it. I was hesitant, not because I didn't care about him, but because I didn't want him to marry me just because we had a child together. I wanted to know that he was choosing me, that he genuinely wanted this marriage, and I asked him many times, even up to the days before the wedding, until he started getting angry, saying it sounded like I was the one who didn't want it. So we got married. But after the wedding, I began to notice so many changes in him. He started drinking, he started smoking. I never known him to have any vices at all. I truly believe he had none. Then I saw another side of him. He was the angry man in their household. Someone even his own parents couldn't control. His own parents couldn't control. We were living with his family at the time, and that's when the doubt began to creep in. This was not the man I thought I married. Who was this person? That year I uncovered so many things I'd learned, that his family had been helping him hide his habits and behavior from me. He became secretive, started lying. Somehow I always found out. I always had a way of discovering the truth. But I chose to ignore it all. I had just given birth, and I felt like I might lose my sanity if I allowed myself to carry all that pain at once. In 2025, our relationship remained shaky. I discovered even more of his bad habits. He gambled, watched explicit videos of girls online. Oh boy, that's a big no-no. And lied, and accused me of being a gold digger. And even searched for massages with extra services in his area of assignment. Okay. During the first quarter of the year, we lost contact for a while. We only reconnected shortly before my daughter's birthday, when he asked me if we could celebrate a little early since his vacation was coming up. We don't live together. He spends his vacations at his mom's house, and I was staying with my parents since we didn't have our own home yet. I agreed. The celebration itself went okay, but we didn't interact much. Days later, someone messaged me claiming to be his mistress. That's when everything got blurry. I was stressed and doubted my own worth. So much happened after that, but I won't go into details. To make it short, his family got involved, his parents, his brother, and even his brother's fiancée. I felt like I was dying inside from betrayal, pain, and disappointment. How could the people I trusted betray me like this? We've tried to rebuild our family this year, and I've been controlling my emotions, but he would suddenly burst out about how his parents and brothers are involved, and when I tried to share my side, he refused to listen. I realized he would never truly favor me or stand by me. He still sees me as the asshole in the situation. And that's when I finally decided this needs to stop. I still love him so much. I overthink what would happen if he found another girl or how it would affect my daughter, but this suffering has to end. If he's not willing to stand by us, me and our daughter, then I shouldn't be forcing myself to hold on to him. I have so many regrets. I have so many questions for him. Why would you pretend to be someone you're not? How could you marry me and treat me like garbage? How could you live like a single man while I carry all the responsibilities you never chose to take on? Why did you chose to break me? I paused so much of my life for the little family we created, my education, dreams, everything. Because I trusted you, you said you had it all. But instead, I ended up doing everything wrong. How could you do this to me? And how do I move on from this? Wow. Oh man. That was a sad, sad story. That took a dark turn. Like, I should have kind of guessed that it was going to go to shit when I read the title called How to Move On. But man, so let me give you a piece of advice, people. If you find out, like, granted, she didn't have much of a choice once they did get married, and she didn't know any of this. But she had like a daughter, and I'm pretty sure they're pretty young. Like, she's 24, I think she said. But for those who find out before they get serious and stuff, if you find out that your partner's keeping stuff from you about what they do and stuff, get away from them. Like, it's gonna get so much worse, and it's just terrible. Like, people hide red flags like all the time from people because they want you to like them, but like, red flags are a big thing. Even the little things like add up. Like, so you always gotta be aware is what I'm trying to say. But Anyway, that was the third story. Man, I'm finding a lot of kind of sad stories today and kind of messed up ones. So let's see what the next story has to offer. Alright, so this next story is 2 months old, and I'm gonna be honest, I'm gonna take this with a grain of salt because it seems too wacky, too goofy, judging by the title. Involves a celebrity, pretty big, so let's just get straight into it. I said something rude about Hosier's ex-girlfriend, and she DM'd me about it. Throwaway, and this was a couple of years ago. This happened in the middle of when Too Sweet by Hosier was trending. A couple of years ago. That was a couple of years. Man, I didn't even know that was a couple of years ago. Man, time goes by. Everyone and their mom was using the song in their Instagram reels, and I'm sick of it now. But at the time, I definitely thought it was a bop. I've heard via my friend who's in the Hosier FBI, that the song, as was his entire album, Unreal on Earth, was actually about his ex. Specifically, Too Sweet was a dig at his ex, which is obvious if you read the real lyrics. According to my friend, a lot of the Hosier fandom was really shocked that he dated this woman because they didn't expect him to be enamored with a very LA Pilates influencer type. The fact that people were shocked was honestly hilarious to me. I do feel for the fans whose perception of him soured a bit. Hosier showed even he will fall for someone who seemed really vaped as long as she's conventionally attractive skinny lady. But yeah, being parasocial never pays. Anyway, I came across maybe the 50th reel on Instagram that had someone using that song, and I decided to be a little shit about it. I commented, fun fact, the song's a diss track against his crunchy Pilates instructor ex-girlfriend who left him for another guy. Oh, I didn't know that was the song was about. I thought it was about him leaving. Okay, whatever. I'm not defending myself. It was rude. I left that comment on the post of an Insta user that happened to have a pretty decent following. And I was one of the first few commenters on that post, so it gained something close to like 18k likes. By the time I'd taken a screenshot for later context, a nice little dopamine hit for a few weeks. I don't know how long after, but apparently that caught the ex's attention. I was bored and waiting to board a plane to fly back home from a work trip. So I was looking through Instagram message requests, and I see one from an account I don't recognize. That was sent the night before. You already know who it is because of that title of this post. This is her opener. How is your cat doing? Okay. For context, I had a post about then closed GoFundMe because my kitty had been extremely sick. From what we didn't know at the time, I was lymphoma in her liver. By this time, I made the decision to have her put down so she didn't have to suffer anymore. I also really couldn't really afford to keep her alive without going to severe debt. On the message alone, I didn't know who this person was. I saw she had 14k followers, so I figured maybe she was some influencer trying to perform some charity. I don't know if that was a stretch. I messaged back, hey, thanks for asking. I actually had to put her down a couple months ago. This is her next message. That's terrible. And then cats are so cute. Please be cautious of the hate you are spreading on social media. Don't forget, people exist in real life with feelings. Sometimes it's easy to type nasty stuff on the phone, but remember, it's a human you are talking about. Oh, yeah, sorry that your cat died. By the way, can you stop being a fucking asshole on social media? Anyway, girl, what the fuck? A weak nod to sympathy followed by a lecture in the same message. Granted, I'm confused and a little nervous. I thought maybe I accidentally liked an Insta reel that was actually really offensive, or somehow she said something bigoted without, accidentally said something bigoted without meaning to. You know, when you like a post until the comments inform you on why it's actually very harmful, so you take your like back. I thought it was something like that. I was ready to unlike and delete, etc. Her profile doesn't really tell me who she is, and there's no mention of Hosier on there, understandably. And then I get an inkling of an idea. I look through the messages my Hosier informant sent me. I found the link to the ex-girlfriend's profile. She messaged and clicked on it. It's the same profile. Oh, okay. This is some lady in her feelings. I screenshot the messages and sent them back to the Hosier friend, who's as aghast as I am. We both talked about what I could say next, and I decided to play dumb. Hey, thanks for your concern. As for the hate, could you show me what you're talking about, please? She then proceeds to leave me unread. I'm not sure what she expected out of this conversation, but if she showed me the comment I left, I probably would have responded with some version of, "Oh, that? Okay, girl, I thought I said something actually harmful to, like, marginalized people." Ultimately, the interaction was a bit of a nothing burger, but I still got a laugh out of it. The fact that she started a conversation about her feelings being hurt by a stranger about their dead cat. Hope this gives someone a little giggle too. Well, that did indeed give me a giggle, but I will be honest. My nose is sniffing. I have a feeling that this story was. There's a chance that the story could be fake, but I don't know, man. That just sounds so outlandishly like how could you make that up? But at the same time, it sounds too wacky. Like this is like fish paste, but yes, yeah, that was. So, man, I didn't know though that's what Too Sweet was about. I thought it was just about him breaking up with a girl, but it's a great song. I mean, I can understand though the whole when a song gets played too much. like there's some good songs out there, but I fucking hate them now because they've been played on the radio like a bajillion times, or on TikTok or Shorts, for example. It's the big one, but. Yeah. Don't make fun of Hosier's ex-girlfriend, that's for sure. But let's get to the next story. So this next story I think is actually a nice one to end it off on. It kind of has like a nice message in it. Yeah, especially since like a lot of the stories in this video were kind of depressing. A little weird. Except for the last one. That one was just funny. So this one's 27 days old, and it's called Remember Your Why. Some of the seasons of life stretch us in ways we never expected for me. The last few years, I have been a blend of leadership, caregiving, motherhood, and holding up a household that depends on me. I'm the vice president of a talent acquisition. I'm a full-time caregiver to my husband, who has ALS, and I'm a mother of two, and the sole provider for my family. It's a lot. I won't pretend otherwise, but I won't frame it as a burden. This journey has taught me more about resilience, grace, and purpose than any title or milestone ever. I could have exhausted some days, physically, mentally, and emotionally, but I'm also deeply grateful. Grateful for the time I've had with people I love. Grateful for the work that has given me meaning. And grateful for the strength I didn't know I had until life demanded it. I tried hard because my why is right in front of me every single day, and even on the toughest mornings, that is enough to keep me moving forward. If you're in a season that feels heavy, I hope you remember your why, too. Sometimes that's where the real power lives. Alright everyone, that's all the stories for tonight. Hopefully you guys had a nice relaxing time, and if you like videos like this, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. But anyway guys, I think that's gonna do it for me, and I'll catch you guys later. Good night everyone.